What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Season 2 of the Escape Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Bandera, and across from me is my co-host, Vinny Dos Santos, a.k.a. Mr. Newlywed, a.k.a. Mr. Network.
Jeez, you got to do all that, huh?
Yes, sir.
I almost forgot that we're doing Season 2 now, actually.
Yes, sir. Now we are on Season 2. We just finished off Season 1 with a banger with our good friend Lucio, but we've been wanting to get him on for a while, and we finally were able to do it to end Season 1. And so now Season 2, we're beginning with just another banger.
We're starting off flying on this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would you like to introduce our guest and... because it's about to be like a serious banger right here.
Yeah.
We were talking beforehand.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of hearts broken, a lot of feelings hurt on this episode.
Maybe. We're definitely going to learn a lot because that's what I'm really interested in, is learning a lot, because this dude, not only is he young, I mean, 21 years old now?
21, yeah.
So 21, he's worked with some big names, a.k.a. Andrew Tate himself. Dude's making guap. He's flying all over the place. I don't think he even has a permanent residence. The whole world is his residence. He lives everywhere, wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Yeah, exactly. Bro, little to no interjection. The man JP himself. And it's John Paul?
Yeah, it's Jean Paul's my full name, but just everyone calls me
JP.
So.
The man JP. I appreciate you for coming, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it, bro.
I mean, you flew from Miami to here just for...
Yeah. Well, actually, I was in Chicago for a few days. Before that, I was in Miami. Now I'm in we're in Boston. Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I can be in Jersey to meet another friend of mine, and then Los Angeles. I'm just fucking going everywhere. But yeah.
So where have you been the past month? Have you been all around North America, or has it just been all over the world?
Yeah. So I decided to forget about the rest of the world and just focus on the US for this month, 2 months. I was like, let me conquer the US. Let me go to literally every city that everyone talks about in the US. And I wanted to see what was happening over here. Like, how the fuck are normal ass people getting super, super rich just because of the US system. And I actually think that it's the easiest place to make money. Just because of the debt that you're able to take over here. It's super fucking easy to make money. I spoke to one of my friends back in Dubai, and I told him, this was 3 months ago, and I asked him hey bro, by the way, you're able to take $250K in 0% debt, credit debt in the USA. And I mentioned it to him, and he's like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Even in Dubai, there's rich guys everywhere and shit. The U.S. is the only place where you can find that much capital, just that much resourcefulness everywhere. So it's I had to go there or come here and see how things are going, and it's very interesting. So yeah.
So, have you lived here before? Because I know you say you were in Dubai, but you don't have an accent or anything. So I'm guessing you're American or Canadian.
No, yeah. So I'm Canadian. I was raised in Toronto. In the hood of Toronto. I can say, I've had a bad raising or whatever it is, the hood of Toronto, but I see the suffering when you're in bad areas as something that is actually a skill, is a good thing. For me to be raised in a not so good area around not so good people is actually strength of mine, so that I can be able to go throughout the world and not be jumped and shit. In some sense, I'm street smart because of that. So
street certified.
Yeah.
100%.
Good.
We're definitely gonna be talking about Trudeau probably.
Okay.
I don't know if you have your own opinion about Trudeau, but
He's a Barbie.
yeah, honestly, that's the nice way of putting it. Honestly. He's basically Canadians' version of Trump at this point. I'm sorry, not Trump. Biden.
Yeah, he's opposite of Trump completely.
Opposite of Trump. I think Trump. He needs to win again.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Make America great again. We're already off to a great start.
Yep.
Shadow banned right away.
Oh, dude, we already got shadow banned before.
Shit.
So many times. That's almost like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
We talk about depression, boom, shadow ban. We talk about big pharma. I talked about big pharma once, and boom, 6 views on the reel on the shorts. I mean, It's crazy because big pharma owns basically everything, and they own social media right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you talk anything bad about them or even say their name, there's a good chance that they're gonna ban you for a little bit.
Yeah. It's not about being mad at the system. It's just like, all right, admitting that there's some problems, there's some faults in this whole entire thing. Like, all right, great. Big Pharma owns everything. Okay, cool. What do I do about it? I just say things around, or like say things that would not get you shadow banned or whatever it is. Because ultimately, you don't want to get mad at the system. You just want to be able to have the highest amount of impact possible to other people. How will you have more impact? You'll have more impact by getting more views, right? You might not necessarily be able to say all the raw, unfiltered things that you would be able to say, but that's why you've got paid communities, or you've got Rumble or whatever it is, and that's where the real sauce gets disclosed.
100%, man. 100%. So, would you like to tell the audience more about your background? Because we know a little bit about you. You know, we talked before and everything, but maybe the audience might not know too much about you. Would you like to give everyone your backstory, how you got to where you are now, and some goals afterwards?
Okay. Yeah, it's quite a long story. Long version, short version.
Perfect. The long version.
The detailed version.
Yeah.
version.
Cool. All right, so I was raised in Toronto, and so I was kind of like, let's say through the pandemic, when the pandemic started, I was in grade 12, which was the last grade of high school. And I was trying to figure out, all right, cool, am I going to go to university, college, this, whatever it is. So because my dad's an engineer, I told myself, all right, cool, I'm just going to become an engineer. Fuck it. Like, let me just do that. Whatever. Cool. I get into engineering, and in the pandemic, of course, because Canada was the highest, or Ontario was the highest lockdown state in the world, like Toronto was the most locked down, I was not able to even interact or speak to anyone in my uni, right? So I never met anyone. I never even went to campus. I was basically kind of like in a bit of a rut, because I finished high school. I then got into university, which is college. And essentially from that, I was basically stuck in my room, seeing some university professor talk about some bullshit about math and all this stuff. And for a whole entire year, I was trying to figure out, all right, cool, what am I going to do with my life? What do I actually want to do? After, like, let's say a lot of reflection, I just told myself, like, all right, cool, I'm looking at these people that are in university, these other students, and these other students are kind of like on the path to the 9 to 5. And I actually looked at the statistics, like the university students that actually get the paper, meaning the degree, what is their average income, or what is the job that they get after in terms of statistics? Most of them, it doesn't actually look good. You pay like tons of money for the degree, and like the ROI is not there. And I was trying to figure out, all right, cool, how can I go about this whole entire life, business, whatever thing? So I decided to move from engineering for 1 year, and then I moved into business. So I did business for 1 semester, and throughout this whole entire time, I was hustling, right? I had jobs. I was working as a landscaper, working as a lifeguard. And during the summer, at one point, I had 4 jobs working consistently, because I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? Right? Like, if I don't know anything, I'm just going to work as hard as possible on everything that I can see in front of myself, and I'm just going to fucking hustle. Right? So I had two landscaping on-call jobs. I had 1 lifeguarding job, and I was a manager at like a water park. There's tons of fucking stories of that thing. And then a security job. So I was like, I didn't sleep, basically. I was sleeping like 6 hours a day. It was like very close. I was making like doctor's money during the summer and spring. But then I moved into business school, and that was basically 1 semester of trying to figure out, all right, cool, am I going to do business? Is business school even the way to go? So I went into accounting and finances at Ryerson University. Same thing. I never saw my professor. It was always some digital professor. They were probably paid like fucking $20 an hour. They probably didn't even have any credentials. First thing comes first, they asked me for my pronouns. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this bullshit? Like, I'm not here to talk about pronouns. I'm here to talk about business, making money. And throughout this whole time, I was listening to Andrew Tate, listening to all these guys on YouTube. I've always been in the self-improvement space and niche, like always following these guys' stuff. And so they were talking about like fucking workplace ethics and like everything that is not making money. And I learned more on YouTube, which was free, than going to these university classes. So crazy thing that I did, I started networking a lot. I started going to a lot of networking events at the age of 18. I think it was like 18 and a half and 19. I was going to tons and tons of networking events because it's like, all right, cool. How am I going to find that next opportunity? I'm going to find that next opportunity by going out and speaking to other people, other business owners, and learning from them and seeing if there's any way of working together. So after a few networking events, I then meet this Asian lady. This Asian lady is the manager of a $10 million business, e-commerce medical business. And so essentially, I was able to get a job with her by storytelling my experience scaling an e-com business myself. So I actually built a few e-coms back in the past, told her about them, and I added a bit of like a funny story to it just to make her to be like, oh yeah, cool, like let's talk more about this. The next day I got hired, dropped out of uni, dropped out of college right away, and I became the manager of an e-commerce business that was making $5 million a year in profit. And so at that time, I was making $70K a year Canadian, and basically my employees, because I was a manager, my employees were all university graduates. They were all in their 30s, their late 20s. They didn't know I was fucking 19. They didn't know I was 19. I had the beard and everything. You know, when I went to networking events, I even like made myself some tailor suits and like all this kind of stuff so I can look older, so I can fit the part around these guys. Yeah, but I got that job. And so just to cut it short with that, I basically took that business from 5 million in profit to 10 million in profit within 6 months. And after that, I was like, all right, cool. I'm at work right now. They're not going to increase my salary. I made them 5 M's in 6 months. I need to work on my own shit. I need to go and find that next opportunity. So what do I do again? I go to networking events. I go and join online communities. Do the same thing, same role, finding that next opportunity. And so essentially, I then was able to get close to the Andrew Tate sphere, join a few of his networks personally, if you guys know about them. And essentially through that, I got very close to their salesman. And one day I meet their salesman, Andrew Tate salesman in Toronto, and I was able to get a job with him. Right. So after that, I became a closer for Andrew Tate's whole entire ecosphere. Within 2 months, I became the best salesman under Tate. And through that whole entire time, he wasn't famous at that time. So like, for example, right, you have a $100K paying per year job and you're a manager. At 19, my parents thought that I was going to stay there for at least 2-3 years. After 6 months, I dropped out. I left for an only commissions job for some random guy saying, okay, women can't drive and all this stuff, right? Which is a bit crazy.
Your parents were probably tripping.
They were like going crazy. They're like, what the fuck did you do? Why did you do this? But I was like dialed on my purpose. And at that time, I actually also moved out of my parents' house. I was like, all right, cool. No, like, fuck it. I need to be on my own. I need to be around like-minded guys and hustle. And so the second month I made 10K. The month after that I made 20K. And then the month after that I made 55K. And it just kept scaling because I was hustling a lot and just I was getting sales. So I essentially kept that record of being the best salesman with him for about 9 months, became sales manager. From sales management, I decided and looked at this whole entire sphere. I was like, all right, cool. There's kind of like a cap in terms of sales. So what am I going to do? I'm going to move it more into marketing. So I got clients like the Sartorial Shooter, if you know about him.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I helped Justin Waller scale a bit of his stuff. Some other big clients in Dubai. I then became more of a consultant to personal brands. In that time, I then took my residency and moved it down to Dubai. So my permanent residency is in Dubai right now. Well, not right now actually, but at that time it was it was in Dubai. I just fucking fly too much. I just travel too much to have a residency now. But yeah, then I moved from personal brand consulting, and now I'm more like consulting people on like telling them, all right, you need to build a personal brand, and more like helping like younger guys on what they should actually be doing, because I went through the whole entire process. I went from leaving university, getting a 9-to-5 job, testing out the matrix, seeing how the matrix is. The matrix is shit. So then I got my own like business job, sales job, did really well with that. Then I scaled my own personal businesses and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. Basically like how things went. So
Sheesh.
yeah.
Quite the resume. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting journey, I'd say.
Yeah, and this all happened in like 2-3 years.
Yeah, that's what's wild.
Right? You see, like,
3 years.
you need to have some balls to be able to be like, all right, cool. I got to the top of this mountain, and just in terms of this opportunity that I had, and just fuck it, I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do the next one. So
What do your parents think now?
they're happy. They're happy because I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm making decent money.
Right.
Yeah, and for my age, I'm pretty accomplished. But I'm always looking at other people, and I'm like, fuck, I need to do better.
Right.
But yeah.
As you should. It's that ambition, right?
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
dog in you. Right. Are you ever home for Christmas and all that, or do you miss all that stuff?
I was home for Christmas. I was home for Christmas for a few days. It's going to be my birthday soon. To be honest, I kind of want to fly to Portugal and just stay there and like avoid the whole birthday celebrations.
When's your birthday?
It's on the 25th of March.
okay.
Yeah. So personally, I think my parents, if I go there, my parents are going to do a birthday party for me. I don't really want to do that shit. I just want to fucking work. Like, that's it. It does sound boring. Like, oh, I just want to work all the time. But like, I've got like, for me, I think that work is fun. I enjoy working. I actually enjoy building businesses and conquering like throughout the world, just in general. Like, it's fun to work.
Right.
Nowadays for myself. In the beginning, it wasn't, but you had to like push through.
Yeah.
So
And with all the traveling thing, it must be pretty rewarding too. I mean, you get to go all over the place and experience different things, and so that's got to be very rewarding.
yeah. I've gone everywhere. I've gone to. I can list some places like, okay, of course, the U.S., Canada, Thailand, Bali. I've gone to Dubai. I've gone to Oman. I've gone to basically all of Europe. Mykonos, very fun over there. I've gone to some other places in Southeast Asia, but yeah, like I've been around the map at like a super young age, and for me now, it's numbing to like go and do all this shit, and knowing other people saying, "Oh wow, you're doing all this crazy shit." I'm like, yeah, of course I'm doing this shit.
Right.
Like,
So where are you at now? Like, what is the goal?
right now, I really want to scale my community, my school group, because I used to work with like really high ticket clients. So back in Dubai, I was focusing more on an offer, which was 4 guys, and I sold 4 guys, ultra high ticket, $50K each, for 6-month mentorship, to essentially help them with their personal brands. There's really, really rich guys that have all the money in the world, but they have a shitty personal brand. So basically what I did is that I helped them create their brand identity. We went on supercar rallies together, took some pictures for them, all that stuff. And essentially I helped them create their personal brand. Then I went more on like helping kind of like on a medium ticket basis, like essentially 5K each. I'll help you with your personal brand, convert sales, build your funnel, all this stuff. And it's less one-on-one. But now I'm going on like ultra impact, right? How can I, number one, make more money and have more impact in the world? It's by, of course, going and building a community of younger guys. And I know for a fact, if I was that younger 18-year-old self, 19-year-old self, if I had to pay 5K for another younger guy to mentor me, I would be really on the edge. So basically, I built a group that's like $99 a month now. So
Yeah.
I'm scaling the fuck out of it.
So what is the, like, how would you define personal brand exactly?
Personal brand, I would say it's basically a if you look at yourself, right? Who are you? You've got like a basket of flowers, which is I look at personal branding as a basket of flowers, right? You've got some things about you, right? You like sports, you like these kind of materials, you like these kind of topics, right? You like speaking about these specific things. That's your personal brand. Your in real life personal brand. If someone mentions like Bitcoin or whatever, right? They'll remind themselves about this person or that person, right? And so personal brand is basically who you are in real life, but just elevated to the next level, like to like an ultra level. And this is a crazy thing, but now more people live in the internet than in real life. It's extremely important to create that right brand identity so that people don't make the assumptions that you don't want them to make, right? For example, some friend of mine might be extremely rich, big businesses, everything, right? But if no one knows about him, they check his online profile and his profile is shit, they're going to make shitty impressions about that guy, even though he's extremely accomplished. So everyone needs to be able to put those right seeds into people's brains when it comes to their online presence. Super important.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be super important. I think even as a company, like a lot of companies probably go to people's Facebook pages or Instagram pages
100%,
and see what these people are about. If they're out partying every night, probably not the ideal candidate to be, representing your company. And then a follow-up question is like, how would you monetize a personal brand?
How would I monetize? So the thing is, it's actually extremely easy. For me, guys that have a hard time monetizing your personal brand, if you have a cult following audience, that's all that you need. And the main thing is building that cult following audience, building a following of people that really like your content and like know you almost as a friend, right? I'll just give you a quick experience. Like back when I was in Dubai, I would go to this favorite restaurant of mine called Il Pastaio. And at Il Pastaio, I had a fan come up to the restaurant and he's like, "Oh, that's JP. Oh my gosh." I'm not trying to say this because I'm arrogant, whatever it is, but that's what actually happened. And that was one of my first like fan interactions. And I didn't know who the fuck that guy was. But it's like he looked at me and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's my friend." Right? So it's kind of like personal branding is like you're making one-way relationships with tons and tons of people. But on the monetizing side, it's very, very simple, right? If you actually look at it, you're basically given people that that basically want to get closer to you. So what are you going to do? How are you able to make money from that? You make money from that by asking the right questions, asking the people the right questions, finding their issues, finding their problems, and that's how you make money, right? You find their problems and you sell a product that will solve their problems. It's actually extremely easy. And I do this all the time. It's not like you necessarily need to have one offer. Here and there, I sell multiple different offers here and there. Like I would speak to a person and they would mention that they have this one issue, right? They would have this one issue, I don't know, like issue with their fucking teeth, right? I would find a product to monetize and for me to make money from that and also suggest that person to use that specific product. So it's all a matter of asking questions to your audience and providing a solution, providing a prescription. And the conversion rates are actually extremely high with personal branding, right? If I told someone, "Hey, you need to buy this gum because it makes your jaws bigger," right? No one's going to question me because they're already my friends, right? Say, for example, you tell your friend, "Hey, buy this thing. It's really fucking good. It changed my life," right? Of course they're going to buy it, right? They're not even going to question you. And that's why I think that all of retail space will be taken over by personal brands, right? Already you're seeing it with Mr. Beast, Tequila Terramana by The Rock. Right. What is it? The other boxer guy. McGregor. Yeah, exactly. And like all these different people are building billion-dollar businesses in a matter of years,
just
right?
Because they're a personal brand.
Exactly. The Rock built a $3 billion business in 3 years during the pandemic, which is fucking crazy.
That's wild.
Right?
Yep.
And like his marketing expenses are probably none because he already has a personal brand. His margins are already probably higher than all the other guys. So yeah, it's crazy. The multiple you would add onto that kind of business is like 10x, 20x.
Right. Now, okay, let's one more. I got one more here, Christian. I know you're itching. But all right, now let's say I'm a 16-year-old kid. I don't want to go to university. I don't want to do any of this stuff. I got no money. And I'm like, yo, JP, how do I get started? All I have is this iPhone. I'm not really interested in many things. Maybe I like lifting every once in a while, but like how do I start my personal brand? How do I go about that?
Okay, well, to be completely honest, I would only advise people to start their personal brands if they have some level of character, right? If they've got some kind of case study behind them, right? For that guy, I would tell him to wake the fuck up. As a man, you need to fucking build your value, right? And you need to work on yourself. I would recommend that guy to, number one, for sure, if he's living in a Western country, anyone that lives in Canada, USA, the United Kingdom, Australia, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. Even in fucking India, you can make money. Anywhere on earth. If there are jobs around you, go and start getting hired from those jobs. Go and actually get a fucking job, right? Get a bunch of jobs, as many jobs as possible, and learn how to work hard. The only person that will instill that work ethic will technically be your boss, right? Your boss is going to try to make sure that you're, number one, highly skilled, and number two, working very, very hard. So the easiest way to gain, to start off as a 16-year-old is make some fucking money, right? Actually start making some money. Guys that tell me out here that they don't have $99 to afford my program, I'm like, dude, you're retarded. Get a fucking job. Like, go and get a job, first of all. Build a good work ethic. Learn from other people. And realize, this is the most important thing. Realize that your payout when you're young is not the money. It's not going to be the money. Even if you're paid $1 an hour or nothing, I don't give a shit. The way that you're being paid as a young person is building skills, learning. That is the only thing, right? And so even if I might say, for example, in some jobs that I had in the past, I was not paid the best. For example, I'm always grateful for those jobs because the money that I got was not the money. It was me actually going there and learning how to landscape, or learning how to do management skills, whatever it is. But yeah, especially for a employer to hire someone that is not skilled, that barely knows anything about the world, and there are those opportunities out there. Like, young people need to be grateful for those opportunities, and they're everywhere. So I would say get paid to learn, and then once you get paid to learn from even more people online, right? So join some specific programs, mentorships, all this shit. Just want to side note, when I was in that management job in that 9-to-5 business, I spent about 50 grand, which was a lot of money in my bank, on mentorships, coaching, masterminds, all this stuff. So do the same, right? Invest in yourself. Until you reach 100K and 10K a month cash flow, there's nothing else in the world that you should be investing except for yourself. So that is the only thing. Always invest in yourself nonstop. And investing in yourself means masterminds, learning from people that have results, actual receipts. Don't buy a course from a guru that has a shitty life, right? Go buy a course from someone that actually has the life that you want to live, or actually has made a shit ton of money for these people.
Yep.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to a fat personal trainer, right? I mean, we've made this example a million times as gym owners. You're not going to want a fat personal trainer. You're going to want someone that lives the lifestyle, that knows and breathes it, So
Exactly.
it makes sense.
But there's the issue with that as well. It's so easy to become one, and that's just an example, a personal trainer, because everything's online these days. So imagine how easy it is to become a personal trainer, how easy it is to get rich. It's just putting the work in. It's just putting your mind to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually want to go back to which we were saying earlier about personal branding with like celebrities. But what I've been noticing, and I know you definitely know, you've been noticing throughout the past few years, especially during the pandemic, you've seen these celebrities, their net worths go up and up and up, and it's because of their personal branding. The Rock is one of them, and I see like who else is there?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds with like Wrexham and Mint. Have you been noticing like other celebrities as well doing the same thing, like hopping on that train? Have you been helping any of these celebrities as well?
Well, I did it for Tate.
Well, that is true. You did do it for Tate, but like I mean, like actor celebrities, something like that. Someone maybe like we obviously know Tate, but maybe someone who doesn't know Tate but might know, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
or Jake Gyllenhaal, something like that.
So personally, my expertise is more on the digital products niche. So I haven't been in the products niche and actually helping people build their own e-commerces. What I would recommend to those celebrities is, all right, cool. You have tons of fans that will buy whatever you tell them to buy. So go to an e-commerce mastermind guy, like a really good guy that's good in e-commerce, and just get him to build your thing. And that's what I would recommend. But like the Nelk Boys, the Nelk Boys build their big ass drinking thing, right? Like every single personal brand out there, it's like you have energy, right? And no one trusts anyone anymore. Like this is what I believe. Purchasing habits have changed for the normal average person. They are much less likely to buy a product from a business that does not have a face behind it, right? Why do people buy things? Why do people actually buy products? They buy products because, number one, you've been given a promise. And that promise is, hey, I'm going to solve this issue for you, right? But what leads me to believe in you that you're actually going to solve that issue for me? It's on the basis of trust. How do you find trust? You find trust through testimonials. You also find trust through personal brands, right? And there's some things that people look at in order to say, hey, I'm actually going to buy this because I know that outcome that I want will come to fruition. With a personal brand, that trust gets reinforced by 1,000 times, right? So, yeah, it's huge.
100%. Do you think it's because of COVID that all these personal brands with these celebrities and even these influencers have blown up? Or do you think that even beforehand they were already doing pretty big?
I think that if you had a personal brand even before, say for example, like there was a cigar store that I went in Chicago, and it was called Biggs. And basically at Biggs, it was like one of my friends, he told me, hey, this famous basketball player, he went to this shop. A lot of famous celebrities, they went there. You should go there as well. That's why Biggs is one of the biggest cigar shops in not Boston, in Chicago, because these guys went there, right? Because of the status that Biggs gets, to say, hey, these people came to my shop, so come as well. It's the biggest shop, right? It's the same thing, but personal brands and because after the pandemic, everything changed. It's just added like some rocket fuel. The pandemic basically added rocket fuel to the whole entire thing. Whereas now, if you just don't have a personal brand, you're just putting yourself at such a disadvantage. Because most people now, in terms of screen times, I can tell this for a fact. People's screen times after the pandemic is now up like a lot more, right? I actually searched this before through Siri. And it was like, what's the average American screen time on a daily basis? And it said it was 7 hours per day. 7 fucking hours per day.
Damn.
Right? If you actually look at that on a percentage basis, you actually do the math. 7 hours is like about 30% of someone's day. If you actually look at that on a lifespan basis, assuming someone's going to live 100 years, that's 30 fucking years looking at some fucking metal, right? But it's a full marketplace, right?
That's wild.
So
30 years of looking at your fucking phone.
That's crazy.
Bruh. What, I don't know if that's just a waste or if that's lost,
I feel like that for the 99, it's a waste,
yeah.
right?
well, to be honest, I think that it is a waste if you make it a waste.
Right.
So if you are a person that is inclined to consume all the time, consume, then all right, you shouldn't be on social media. You should probably fuck off and just do your own thing.
To me, that's most people though.
Yeah.
They open up TikTok, it's scroll. Instagram, scroll. I get caught up in it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, my algorithm is nice because I see guys like you. I see motivational things. I see Andrew Tate. I see, you know, things that like tell me to get off of it. Right.
Yeah.
But most people, they have stupid ass algorithms. You see cats and babies and war shit and whatever, obesity and pronouns and all the bullshit that isn't going to level you up in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I think that's just the majority though. But who knows?
I think that someone really so why do most people consume online, right? It's number one because marketers are super fucking good, and they know how to get you to want to consume more, and also it is really just because of our genetics, our DNA, right? If you actually look at human beings 100 years ago, we didn't have phones. We didn't have all this equipment. We didn't have, bro, if you had one camera, right, that was extremely impressive back in the day. I don't even know, you couldn't even have a fucking camera back in the day, right? You would need to stand in like a big ass room and they would like make sure you're like standing for like 2 hours in one specific spot. Like the world has completely changed and our actual biology, our DNA has not adjusted to how crazy technology is right now. So if you actually look at it, back in the caveman days, when a caveman would identify scarcity, right, would see bad news, for example, we are more inclined to pay attention to the bad news that is happening in the village. Why? Because say, for example, the tigers or the lions, they leave this one area of the village and they have to escape because there's some hurricane happening. If you didn't hear the bad news in the village, then you might be technically be eradicated or be like you would die, right? You would technically die. So us paying attention to bad news is a matter of our defensive mechanisms that is happening within our own mind, right? And that monkey brain of ours is still acting nowadays. Like it's still like alive nowadays. Our monkey brain is still doing its own shit, right? So why is all news negative? It's negative because we all want to give attention to the negative news, right? We want to give attention to that negative news. And what do we do right after we see all the negative news, right? What is the monkey going to do after it sees negative news? It's going to go and consume. It's going to go and eat shit. It's going to see everything around him. He's going to fuck the chicks, make sure that his bloodline stays for a long time. He's going to eat food, make sure he has enough food in his stomach to stay for a long time, right? And so guys that consume negative news, then they're more inclined to consume more and consume more and consume more. The crazy thing is that back when we were monkeys, we would consume and that would technically be kind of good for us. We'd eat good food, whatever it is. I don't even fucking know. But nowadays, whatever you're consuming, most shit that you consume nowadays is really bad for you. Really, really bad for you unless you're actually being intentional about it, going to like Whole Foods or like finding to buy organic shit. Right, I was trying to look for like a place where you can buy like organic food in Boston, and I didn't really find it. I just had like 2-3 hours just to fuck around in the hotel. I just went and grabbed some Shake Shack. I feel like shit, but like most people, when they have that scarcity mindset, they look at that negative news. They then get inclined to go and consume. So if you want to beat that, if you don't want to be the normal average guy that's always consuming, scrolling on Reels, it's under the premise of always being under resourcefulness, right? Knowing that there are resources everywhere around you and that there's no bad things happening, right? I don't know a rich ass motherfucker that I've met that focuses on the news and focuses on figuring out what bullshit happened in Iraq or whatever it is. Because if you focus on that shit, then it actually programs you to consume more. So, yeah, sorry. I just went on a
Great
rant.
tangent.
Man went down the rabbit hole.
You basically become what you eat or what you consume. So like you said, if you consume negativity, you become negativity. You consume positivity, you become positivity.
Yeah.
You are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
Well, when you consume positive things, you're more inclined to create more things.
Exactly.
And that is the really big focus. You're on social media, you need to create shit. You should avoid consuming things. Create nonstop. I love Instagram, right? And like when I go on IG, if you look at the folder, it says making cash. Wait. It's like making cash instead of consuming things. So if I'm going on these social platforms, it's me. I'm not consuming. I'm creating. So I love my phone.
How do you go about creating? What is your creation process like?
Okay, so number one thing, if you want to be as creative as possible, some people go through ruts and whatever it is in terms of like their creative flow. It's all about being as healthy as possible, right? Because if you're not healthy, then you're less creative. Another thing that people need to realize is when you wake up, that is when you're the most creative possible. So number one, it's getting extremely good sleep, right? Because what are you doing when you're sleeping? You're basically washing and cleaning your brain. Most people's brains are always dirty. It's all fucking dirty. There's like wires here and there, right? What you need to do is have good sleep, right? Track your sleep, whatever it is, have good sleep. And then from that, in the very morning, write down your ideas. Do Wim Hof. Go and look at the sunlight instead of looking at your phone, right? You want to look at natural light in the very beginning of the morning, breathe in some fresh air, get the day started off well. And that's how you start by being extremely creative, right? And so this is what I do. Whenever I have an idea, I always either write it down on Apple Notes or I send a voice note to myself and I say, this is what I think I need to do to speak to this kind of guy, right? Like I had this interaction, for example, and these people, like this guy had to learn this lesson or whatever it is. Like I write one email newsletter per day, and it takes a lot of creative energy, creative juices to be able to write those email newsletters per day. But what do I do to do that content creation process? It's just whenever you have a thought, people have thoughts always in their subconscious mind, but they never put it in front to utilize those thoughts. Utilize those thoughts, write them down, and when you're on your laptop, you want to create content, you could just look at your notes and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I said that thing. There's this story that I wanted to talk about to my audience. So that's kind of like recommendation. Be extremely fucking healthy, and whenever you have thoughts, new ideas, whatever it is, write it down right away or send yourself a voice note. So yeah.
Wow.
Now, what do you say to people who love to just throw excuses around like it's, their job almost? Oh, I can't be healthy because it's too expensive.
I don't have the time.
I don't have the time. What do you say to those type of people who just love excuses and use that for their life?
Okay, so if someone said it's too expensive to be unhealthy, then it's your fault. Like, make more fucking money. It's all your fault. Every single, like your life right now is all a matter of the consecutive cumulative decisions that you've made over a long period of time. So what am I going to tell to that guy that has all these excuses saying, hey, oh, it's too hard. Oh, this is too hard. That's too hard. All right, cool. Stay broke forever and be in a fucking wherever you are. Stay in your current situation. I don't know what to do. You're a person that doesn't want to change. All right, you don't want to change? Okay. You don't need to consume my things. You don't need to consume my content and become the best version of yourself, right? Stay in your situation. I don't give a shit. I don't want to work with those people anyways. But if you want to change your situation, you have to realize, number one, everything in your mind is a limiting belief. Everything that you are saying right now, all these excuses, all the bullshit, it's all because of you. Everything that you're saying, like, oh, it's too expensive to buy this food at Whole Foods. All right, cool. Make more money, right? Oh, it's too hard to build some muscles. My cortisol random function of my brain doesn't allow me to have big biceps. Like, okay, I don't give a shit, right? Figure it out. Just figure it out. Figure out a way to get bigger biceps. Like, it's not my fault. But if someone goes and says, all right, cool, it's some external factor that they blame it on some external factor, that's not a good way of looking at life. You always want to keep yourself accountable with everything, right? It's a mindset that I had to implement when, for example, I had an employee, and that employee, this might not be the best image on myself, but basically that employee, he was a salesman of mine, and I thought that I was really close to him, and I would speak to him on a daily basis, and at one point he moved to like some different country or whatever, and then he kind of went MIA for a few days. And I realized after a few days that what he did is that he actually closed a few of my high ticket clients. He ended up taking the money instead of going through the payment processor. So he ended up telling them, hey, send JP Crypto, which is their address, his own address, instead of my address or through the payment processor that I use. So what am I going to say? Oh, it's his fault. It's his fault. Oh, fuck this guy, like whatever it is. All right, cool. I'm going to say fuck the guy because that's a fucking shitty move to do. But what am I going to say? It is my fault because I didn't train the person well enough, or it's my fault because I didn't choose the right person, right? It's always your fault, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as someone that wants to grow and learn and become better and better and better. Everything is your fault. And if you look at everything to be your fault, then you will grow quicker. You will become better a lot faster. So,
Sheesh.
Facts right there.
Seriously.
100% accountability, aka extreme ownership. I don't know if you've read Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. You know,
I heard about it. Yeah.
It's a fantastic book. I mean, Jocko is the definition of extreme ownership because basically anything that's happened in his life, he's taken ownership over, especially during his time on in the SEAL teams with Leif Babin, the co-author of the book as well. So I think more people need to be more accountable in their lives because we love to just throw excuses around, but that doesn't help the situation. Being held accountable does. And it might take work, but everything in this world takes work for it to actually, work out in the end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it actually isn't your fault, it's better to take accountability, right?
Yeah.
Being accountable to yourself, even if it's some fucked up thing that happened that some other guy did and you did nothing, you didn't play any part in it. It's always better to keep yourself accountable, saying it was my fault. We should have changed it. We should have done it this way or whatever it is. We probably shouldn't have hired this guy or whatever it is. And that's I would say the best way of looking at life. Yeah. Right. And you learn.
I feel like you're going to develop more problem solving skills.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't your fault, but you take ownership of it, you're like, I'm going to figure out how to fix that. So that either doesn't happen again, or I can just learn how to fix this problem where if it does happen again, I got it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go over numbers.
Okay.
Because a lot of people could be listening to this and they're like, yeah, this guy's probably talking shit. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. So explain to us. I mean, how much have you ever made? What do you currently make? Like, let's give them some proof that you're not just blowing smoke. Right?
So if anyone actually wants to search me up, just look at my school community. My school community has about 128 members right now. It's going to go to the fucking moon, by the way.
It explains the school community as well.
Yeah. So my school group, basically about 128 guys at this current given time, maybe more. I don't know. I might have gotten some sales here and there. But 128 guys paying $99 a month right now to learn from me, from all the experience that I've had so far. The school group basically teaches you how to maximize your personal brand. Right now, we actually have a challenge for men that have bad habits, right? They're watching porn, they're doing bullshit, like they're consuming a lot, right? They have bad sleeping patterns. We did a challenge start of this month, get out of these bad habits, teaching people to get out of these bad habits. And already I think it was 30 people subscribe to that challenge, and basically all of them now are not doing those bad habits, which is awesome. But yeah, the school group, basically 2 calls per week with me. We cover a lot of digital marketing stuff. So how can you monetize a personal brand? How can you monetize someone else's personal brand? How can you get into sales? How can you actually make money online? And it's really a ecosphere of constant learning and constant accountability. There's another thing that I do which is very, very powerful. Anyone that joins the school group, they go through a goals exercise. And this is actually something that a lot of people don't do. They go through this goals exercise, and basically it's about looking at someone's milestones. So everyone has their milestones, right? Their New Year's resolutions that they want to hit. All right, cool. I want to have this Lambo. I want to make $100K a year. I want to be able to make this amount. I want to do this, right? All right, cool. But what is going to actually increase the likelihoodness of you getting to those results, right? It's about creating process-based goals from those milestones. So then you look at those milestones, you break them down into smaller parts, right? 100K a year, how much is that in terms of dollars per day? That's 300 and something dollars per day that you need to make every single day to accumulate into 100K per year. All these other metrics, writing them down on a more process-based kind of essence, is the way of going about it. Then what we do is that we create habits from those process-based goals. So every single day, in order for you to hit $300 per day, what are the habits you're going to need to implement to be able to hit those process-based goals, right? And then from that, which is really cool, we create a vision board, right? So what is the best version of JP? What does his life looks like? In my opinion, my life in terms of a vision board would look like JP, GT3 RS in the Swiss Alps. I have my own cottage. I have some houses in Spain. That's the picture you're gonna get, and a nice girlfriend and a family. I might own a farm in Switzerland. That's like the vibes that I'm trying to get, right? And so we help people create those vision boards. And what you do in the community is that you then post your vision board publicly in the group. You show people what are your goals, what are the habits you're going to need to have for this year, what is your vision board, how do you want your life to look like? And so everyone in the community looks at your goals and say, all right, cool, so you're going to do this. Let's see if you actually go through the test of time. So then after that, your habits become into your KPIs, your performance indicators, right? And KPIs is basically, all right, for example, for me, my job, every single day as a content creator, I need to create one email newsletter. I need to create one Instagram reel. I need to go on this one podcast. I need to do these specific things, right? So every single day, the people in my community, they write down their KPIs on an everyday basis. You can actually even look at it. It's extremely interactive, but we've got the guys basically putting down their KPIs every day. I went to the gym. I did these specific things, and then whatever it is, right? KPIs, so that we can see that someone's on track. Why am I so adamant about goals and KPIs? I'm extremely adamant about goals and KPIs because I believe in the compound effect, right? If you have $1, right, and I told you, hey, either I'm going to give you $10 million right now, or I'm going to give you $1, but that dollar doubles every single day until the end of the month, right? What are you going to go for? You're going to go for the doubling. You're going to go for most people will go for the 10 million because they're fucking brainless, right? But I'm going to go for the compound effect because I understand that the sixth wonder of the world is compound effect, right? Which is what Einstein actually mentioned, is like compounding actions lead into a tremendous goal. Something that Darren Hardy actually mentioned as well is that if you increase yourself 1% every single day, then by the end of that year, after 365 days, your personal self will go up by 36x, right? Which is crazy. If you increase yourself, go to the gym a bit, work on your business a bit, whatever it is, 1% better, that's it. And by the end of that year, your personal self will have increased by 36 times. That's why I believe in compounding results, right? Those small little things that you do to improve your life will compound into humongous things. Another thing Bill Gates mentioned, even though I don't really align with Bill Gates, he said that the most deadliest animal on earth is the mosquito. It's not the cheetah, it's not the lion, it's not these huge animals, it's the mosquito. And what does that mean? The mosquito is the deadliest animal on earth, meaning that those small, little, insignificant habits, those bad little habits like watching porn, looking at girls, scrolling on Instagram, will be those big things that will literally basically destroy your life. Those small little things that you do on a daily basis can either destroy your life, or those small little things that you do on a daily basis can either make your life extremely fucking fun or extremely fucking miserable. But yeah.
The compounding effect.
Yeah.
If you have like one of those things, watching porn leads to maybe going to OnlyFans and signing up for this girl that you think is hot, and then that means
or cheating on your girlfriend, or cheating on your wife, and then getting a divorce, and losing the house and losing the car. And
compound effect.
Exactly.
Bro, there are some guys that actually think that if they then get a wife or they then get a girlfriend that they'll stop watching porn. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to stop. It's an addiction. It's actually an issue that you need to solve.
Yeah.
What do you say to those people though, especially for porn? Because that's a big issue with a lot of
It's a big
people.
industry.
If you actually
bigger
look
industry.
on those sites, look at the view counts, billions and billions of views on these bullshit videos that are honestly fucking just. It makes me feel disgusted, right? Because I'm a Christian, right? It's just like, what the fuck? Like, why are men doing this bullshit?
Some of them are crazy. I don't know who it was that was talking about it on a podcast, but it's like borderline pushing something like rape. Think about it, right? It's like, oh, I'm stuck in the fucking drying machine,
Yeah.
and then here, let me get you out, and then obviously we all know how that ends. That's borderline rape, bro.
Yeah.
You know, that's literally rape. But people are like, oh yeah, let me get off to this.
Yeah, well, that's consumption, right? And you as a monkey, right? Those monkeys that are looking at porn and masturbating and everything, they're then more susceptible to marketing message. They're more susceptible to spending their money. They're more susceptible to all this shit, right? So the main thing is being ultra healthy. I'll tell you for a fact, if you go 20 minutes per day in the sauna, if you eat good and healthy food, if you do all this kind of stuff, you will not feel those urges as much as the normal average guy would feel these urges, right? And you'll focus that energy, which is actually mentioned in Think and Grow Rich. I think it was chapter 16, is like you need to utilize your sexual energy to conquer, to get better. Don't use your sexual energy to fuck a chick or go and masturbate or whatever it is. Use that sexual energy to become better, to build your businesses like a king, like the ruler of a kingdom.
That's dope.
And then when you do that, then you can fuck all the chicks if you want.
Exactly, whatever you want.
Like
you can
Genghis
build your
Khan.
life.
Exactly, like Genghis Khan. I mean, like, what was it? A fourth of the population of the world at that time, he was fucking basically all those women.
That dude is crazy.
But he, like, look at what he did. He conquered most of Asia and even into Europe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe that's what he did. He just pent up all that sexual energy and conquered all of Asia and fucking bitches afterwards.
I'm telling you, and also him, like he I don't really know much about him, but I'm assuming that at a young age he started off building who he is, right? It's not like when he started at 40 years old. Right. He didn't start at 40. A lot of these big greats, these big guys have started in their young 20s. Right? So those guys that think that, oh, I'll build a fucking huge ass business when I'm 30, I'll build a business when I'm in my late 20s, whatever it is. No, you have no excuses. I'm 21 right now. I'm beating you in the game of life right now. And there's other greats that have started at a very young age. So anyone out there that thinks that they're imagining a lifestyle that they want to live, if you're not living that lifestyle, you need to create that lifestyle right away. Because I always believe that your life is created from the present moment. It's never going to happen in the future. Nothing's going to come to you. Nothing's going to whatever happened in the past was rooted from the present moment, right? It's like you're writing your whole entire life. The next pages are all blank, right? There's no written in the very back of the book saying like, hey, you're going to get a Lamborghini at this age. No, nothing's going to fucking happen unless you actually write your life every single day, just like doing those daily actions that will compound into something humongous. But yeah.
100%, man. 100%.
So real quick, you had mentioned before we even started the podcast that you had some spicy things or whatever to go over.
Hold on, we're gonna be cooking. Are we gonna start?
I don't know. We might.
Are we gonna be cooking?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
I think you came with an agenda. I don't know. Did you come with an agenda?
Bro, well, I'm just here to just make people feel like shit. Just tell them like how much more harder they should be working. In terms of an agenda, I think that my main agenda is for people to realize that personal branding is something everyone should be focusing on. Just in general, like a lot of people are fucking retarded with digital marketing. They don't know what they're doing. Even guys that help other people with their brands, or say I'm a digital brand consultant. All of these guys, they're not smart. They don't know how to do this stuff. Like I'm out here coming with receipts saying that I've made about $30 million for Andrew Tate. I've made a lot of money for other influencers. I've been able to scale some people to 6-figure months with their personal brand in terms of revenue. Like I'm not talking shit. a lot of guys out there, digital marketers, they like to talk shit and they like to just say, oh, I can take you and increase your revenue by this percent. All right, cool. Tell me a client that you've recently helped that you've been able to make them get this result. Probably none. So yeah.
What was it like working with Andrew?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was like constant hustling nonstop. Basically, I had that work ethic back when I was doing all those jobs. And basically, I was able to realize a place where I can focus all this high testosterone on some specific line of work. Man, I had 16-hour shifts. I was working nonstop on my computer. While we were like the most famous person on earth, I was on his website or on his Instagram doing the DMs or whatever it is, like answering messages and shit, which is fucking crazy, right? For me to say that I was
You didn't
behind.
answer my message, bro. What the
Maybe I left you on red.
oh, come on, bro. How you gonna do that to me?
All right, but that's just what it is. Like, it's just like it for me. It just felt like surreal, and complete respect to him because he's one of the hardest working people that I've seen out there, and that's why I give no excuses to men out there. It's like most guys have not seen their truest potential, and they can't see their truest potential if they're not around other people that are really at their fucking full potential. I'll tell you right now, if a guy lived with me, if they're not at their truest potential, then they're either out of the house or they're going there. Right?
What if they're in the process of getting to their truest potential? What if you can genuinely see that this guy, he's putting in all the effort, he's doing all the things, he's checking off all the boxes, you know?
Then I respect it. I respect that kind of guy. If he's working on himself, even if he might make mistakes here and there, it's great. Like, mistakes are really, really good. It's all in the process of learning and getting better. Right. But as long as you admit to the mistakes, you don't have a fucking ego, and you realize, all right, cool, there's some other guys out there that are smarter than you, and if they've told you something, you need to listen. Can't have your egotistical monkey brain get in the way of you growing. And that's another thing that a lot of entrepreneurs face. It's like their ego, sometimes their own monkey self will get in the way of them having a better, more higher cash flowing business.
Right. Yeah, that's huge.
Basically,
I agree.
Yeah, it's like if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
100%.
like if you're trying to hire the CEO for your company, you best believe that person better be smarter than you, because that person is going to work on your business to make it even more money because you don't know how to do that.
Yeah, and I always pray for a premium. If I do ever have staff, right now, mostly it's all AI. I've got Zapier integrations and shit. Like, I'm making 95% margin on my whole entire fucking business, unlike a lot of people. But like, when you're hiring people, you never want to go and hire like the lowest quality for the cheapest results, right? Or not the cheapest results, but you're paying less for what you're getting. You never want to pay less. You always want to pay for the best. And this is something that I realize a lot of rich people or wealthy individuals, I'd say, look for. It's like, for example, say I told you right now, I'm selling this bag. I've got a bag right now and it's $10,000. What would you say?
Hell.
What is that bag gonna do?
What's in the bag?
Yeah, what's in the bag?
That is a good question, right? And most broke guys would say, fuck no, I'm not going to buy that bag, right? The question you need to ask is, what is in the bag? What am I getting from it, right? Most wealthy individuals, they look for what they're getting. What is the value to be found in that bag versus just looking at price and getting scared like a monkey and being, oh, it's too much money. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that, right? That is them basically having a unhealthy relationship with money. And then I open the bag and I see 20 grand in cash, right? It's done.
There you go.
It's done.
Double your money right there.
Right?
You bought it and now you got it back and 10 grand extra.
Done. Yeah.
But it's that potential. It's that
It's that perspective too of seeing, okay, what am I gonna get from this? Like, it's better to have the high quality, like you mentioned, rather than just whatever that's not even gonna get the results that you wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
So you end up spending more money over time because you never got the results in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. You always want to be a really good predictor of what is of value and what is not of value. Usually what is of value is usually behind a higher paywall. And you always want to pay. Always want to spend your money on those higher paying things, even if you have not that much money. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, money is just money. Like, it's just a tool. You just want to always use it, even if you don't have enough money. Like, it does not matter. You will never not have enough money to eat, right? like it's the reason why we all have unhealthy relationships with money is because we're either it's either from our ancestry, right? Like because human civilization has been fucked up for a long time. Like we went through World War I, World War II, all these different things, right? Even like our DNA itself is programmed to our own, to make sure that it survives, right? And so like you always want to hide that money. You want to always make sure you have enough storage to be able to eat. But nowadays, there's resources everywhere. There's money everywhere. Literally, there's money everywhere. There's the likeliness of someone going homeless, even though they bankrupt their company, is very unlikely. It's people that are homeless, honestly, I just think that they deserve to. Well, I shouldn't say that. I just think that it's really hard to like actually die of hunger if you're in a first world society. If you're in a third world society, I can understand. There's a crazy difference, right?
Yeah, there is.
I've been to some fucked up places, and like over there, they actually don't have the resources. Over here, if you live in the U.S., United Kingdom, Europe, Australia, you should be just fucking spending your money on everything left and right, on things that will make you more valuable, right? Whatever will increase your value, you should be investing in those things. So,
Speaking about homelessness, have you been to California recently?
yeah.
Dude, I was in the heart of the hood, bro. I saw all of that.
Why do you think? I already know the answer to this question, but I want your opinion on it. Why do you think there's so many homeless, especially in California?
I think that there's a lot of homelessness because of also the state of the USA. Like, why are they letting so many people, random ass guys, through the Mexican border? Right, that probably a lot of people that are coming through that border, then they become homeless in some sense, right? And also, if I didn't have that much money, I would look at this and I would say, all right, cool. Why the fuck am I going to pay $300 for a hotel if I can just get my own tent, right? Get a tent, just chill out on the road. Have my own food, whatever it is, create my own house, right? I'm probably going to go that way. And it's because most of people that are homeless, in my assumption, are people that came outside of the U.S. coming into the U.S. And of course, the U.S. dollar is the highest valid currency ever. So it's kind of like you're paying for a house every single night you're sleeping in a hotel, right? Like I can go to Europe right now. I actually looked at prices in Spain. I saw like a beautiful place, like really nice Airbnb for $1,000 per month, right, in Alicante, and you pay $1,000 and you've got like the life. And over here in the U.S., you pay $300. That's three nights to go up to $1,000. Or the math is close, but yeah, like basically, like what you're getting for your money over here is just nothing comparable to other places.
Do you think it's also because the government is actually paying people to be homeless, especially in California?
I don't understand the economics, but I think that would probably be the case. I think that a lot of number one thing, most politicians, if a politician hasn't scaled a business, I wouldn't really listen to that politician. I probably wouldn't elect that person, because if you are managing tons of money, and especially all taxpayers' money, I think that countries are technically companies, and you need to be able to be healthy, right? You need to be capitally efficient with that capital, and you can only learn how to be capitally efficient by either scaling your own company or learning a lot from another person in the government that is really good at it, or learning from another business owner. That's why I think Trump is a boss, because he actually fucking scaled a cash flowing business, positive cash flow, and was able to make money from that. That's why I think he is good at managing a lot of wealth. Right. Unlike a lot of retards out there in the politician space, they've never scaled a business. They've just been able to get voted into a place. Now they have unlimited money to manage. They're putting money in these directions. They don't even know what they're doing, right? Most of them are not even qualified to do anything. I would send them back to school, learn about business, learn how to be capitally efficient with what you're doing, especially in California.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, this is for you.
So you just talked about learning from someone. Who do you learn from? Like, who do you have a mentor? Like who inspires you, or
I've paid for multiple coaches in the past. Right now, I'm really dialed on business, but I do have a high end coach, which I actually can't disclose his name. But I mostly within my networks, those are people that I look up to. Number one, like a really extremely wealthy person. We speak on text. This is a guy that I really look up to. Just in general, I have mentors that I follow online. Right, one guy called First Man. He's one guy that I actually really like to follow, and I consume his content. I do consume his content, but I'm actually learning something. It's not like mind numbing. It's not something that will fuck up my life. I like to consume his content, most like self-improvement niche. But this is what a lot of people or guys in general have an issue with. Right? They consume self-improvement. They consume, and they think that they have the Lambos by the time that they're finished a video. No, you're not. You need to actually then do the actual most important thing, which is taking action on everything that you've learned.
You have to do the thing.
So I really focus on reading books that have been written before like the 1950s, because that's when manipulation has not really been apparent, and also paying really high class mentors or paying really high end CEOs for their business knowledge. I always pay more wealthier people for what they have in their brain. It's a bargain, bro. Say I pay $1,000, $10,000 for 1 hour with one guy. He teaches me how to scale my business by 2x. That's a fucking bargain, right? If I'm making 100K a month and he can teach me how to make 200K a month, done. Easy. Take my money. Take my money right now. Like, that's a 2x return.
That's what Lucio talked about too.
Yeah.
Those masterminds, you know.
You just got to be careful and weed through the fake
bullshit.
ones, the
Right.
bullshit,
Yeah.
and the real ones. What's a good mastermind that you've done?
Actually, I can't. The best one is actually something I signed an NDA for, but
Damn.
but
Damn, for real? That's crazy.
yeah, fuck, sorry.
Maybe it's the Illuminati.
Maybe. Yeah. You said you're a Christian, so I don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm a normal guy. I'm a normal human person. I would say like one of my best masterminds was actually one that I hosted in Dubai. I learned a lot because a lot of high class people went to it. What I did is that we rented a villa beside Imam Ghazi, and we were on the Palm, and basically 20 guys flew in. They all paid $5,000 each, and essentially we just had like testosterone in that whole entire house, and we were just hustling together. It was really cool. But yeah, they came for me, and we left that mastermind me learning more than most of everyone learned something, right? Everyone learned something. I taught about personal branding. I had 5 other speakers come and talk about things. One of my friends, Yusuf, another one of my friends, Sep, another one of my friends that spoke about the subconscious mind, which is really cool. What we did, we went to a farm in the middle of the desert, and my friend, who's a local Emirati, he taught people about NLP, which is neuro-linguistics programming, and how you can actually manipulate your subconscious mind to be rich. But yeah.
That seems intense.
Damn.
Sheesh. Did you meet Iman when you were there?
Actually, he was in Vegas when we did the whole thing. I was actually sad, very sad.
That's another dude.
I wanted to
who's
show him,
absolutely
man. Fuck.
That dude's absolutely killing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good at digital marketing.
Yeah,
I just saw his
say he's really good.
the recent launch of his product line, Big Day. Fuck, I just saw it happen, and I'm like, fuck, he's gonna make $1 billion business. Like, right, I knew for a fact he's gonna build $1 billion business just from that one thing.
No, he's a beast.
Yeah.
100%. What do you say? What do you say to people when they hear this stuff? Because you say you're just a regular person. Imam's just a regular person. Andrew Tate's just a regular person.
We are.
You're poor people who are just now rich, but you're still poor in here, basically. Or maybe that was your upbringing.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say I'm poor. I would say I used to be broke.
Yeah.
Right. I used to be broke. But
What does Andrew say? I think he has a saying where he's like,
I'm just a poor.
I'm just a poor guy with a lot of money.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to go
basically. That was like he was raised in that area, and then he was extremely smart. That led him to like be rich as fuck. I just see Andrew as like a guy you give a lot of money to like your favorite black friend in the gang, and he's just like a beast. He's super sick. He's got the personality. It's like a really cool guy.
What about Tristan? We talk a lot about Andrew.
Yeah,
What about Tristan?
Tristan's even cooler. I think he's less. Tristan is more like of a normal person. He actually like goes and parties. He like actually lives.
He enjoys life.
Yeah, exactly. Less focused. Well, I wouldn't say less focused on business, but Tristan just is a personality. Like actually, I'll say this example. I was at an event with them, and Tate was going, and he was doing his thing with an interview. Tristan, I was with other guys, other like-minded guys, and we were drinking booze together. And Tristan gets me fucking hammered. Like I was the hammerest of hammered that I've ever gone. Yeah, bro, he drinks like crazy. And then after that, I just never drank. I barely drink, like never, basically almost never. But yeah, like just I would say he's a cool guy as well. I'm less focused on like hustling nonstop. But yeah.
Dope.
Dude, that's awesome.
Have you sparred with any of them?
Actually, no. I've worked for them. I've done that kind of stuff, but actually haven't sparred them. I should have done that.
Did you fight?
Yeah, well,
Do some training?
I've done some Muay Thai here and there when I was in Thailand, but to be honest, I'm going to the gym to like look good. I'm going to the gym to like maximize my appearance. So not
Personal
necessarily,
brand,
yeah.
Personal brand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you could sell more if we got the 6-pack, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's something I'm trying to work on as much as possible. I'd say like I've got quite a lot of mass.
How long have you been in it?
Let's say like 4 years.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But now I've taken it much more seriously, like let's say the last year.
Good.
So.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna be seeing you on stage anytime soon?
I think that bodybuilding's a bit gay. I think that doing those like stage things is a bit quite gay.
He'll be buying the stage and just making money off.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be the guy printing in the corner, but just looking super.
Let the
jacked.
athletes be gay, and he'll just be pocketing and profiting on the.
No, I would see some of these like bodybuilding competitions, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude,
Like,
I'm kind of getting
that
to
is
that
really
point,
fucking
bro.
gay.
I'm kind of getting to that point. I wanted to compete, remember, before the pec tear, and now I'm just like, I can't see myself posing in front of other dudes. I don't want to do
I
that.
think that a challenge is always good, and that's why I do a lot of challenges in my group. But like that is extremely
I think
gay.
the process of looking good and like getting shredded is sick.
Yeah.
It's only the posing that throws me off.
That's the thing. Like the bodybuilding competition is like you have a due date, you have a timeline, you have a deadline to get a 6-pack. All right, cool. Get a 6-pack at this time. Right, and it's a good way of getting there as fast as possible. But the fucking event is gay as fuck.
That's funny. Christian feels bad because he's gonna hop on stage pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No,
I'll hop on the stage when I hop on the sauce.
Yeah.
That probably will never happen.
No, we got 3 trainers at our gym that are about to compete. Pretty
Okay,
soon.
well, I'm sorry, but
No, you're good. You're good.
Thank you. Appreciate it, because all their fucking irritations are on me now.
damn.
Man, they're all fucking irritated because they're all depleted, and I'm just
they're
fuck.
going.
Oh yeah, bro. When you would cut, oh my gosh, that's actually
They're
hard.
eating nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost worth it just to be like that 12 to 15% body fat and still be able to eat what you kind of want, but still clean, instead of being like 10% and being so shredded or underneath that and not being able to function.
Yeah.
You need to find that happy medium.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I look good at 12% and I can still eat a cheeseburger on a Saturday and with a beer, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a way better way to go about it.
I think the easiest way to maximize looks is you have a daily routine. So what I would do back in Chicago, I was at my cousin's place and I found a really good flow. Basically, Whole Foods was like a 5-minute walk away, and I had the best gym. I always go to the best gyms, a 5-minute walk away as well from there. I would go in the sauna. There was a sauna there, steam room, everything that I ever wanted. So 5-minute walk, go to the gym, get some work done. They've got like a study area where I can work. I would monk and work for like 3 hours. Then I would go to Whole Foods, get the most organic, best things, go back home, eat, work a lot. Like that's how it's extremely hard to to go and indulge into beer and like other things if you have that kind of setup. So the correlating to like the bad habits thing, you want to make it hard for you to get into those bad habits, right? Don't make it convenient, right? Well, what would I tell the guys in the boot camp to do? Don't bring your phone into the washroom, right? Don't like make it very, very hard for you to access like junk food, all this kind of stuff. So
It's just discipline,
yeah,
consistency and discipline,
yeah,
or at least building it, because we all know that most people, 99% of the people, don't even have discipline these days. If they're all always going on porn and buying pizza and wanking off.
Ah, man, like no one will ever change your issue. It's actually a problem. Most people think that it's a healthy thing. It's not a fucking healthy thing. There's a business behind the pornography industry. It's not healthy at all. You're gonna fuck up your bloodline if you do that shit, right? Like the guy that's watching porn, in some sense, I actually think that he wants to have a beautiful family. He wants to be able to have a nice like GT3 RS in the Swiss Alps. That's what I'm assuming, or having a nice family, right? Most guys, they want to be able to provide and protect for a woman, right? They just haven't built themselves up yet. They're just impatient. So that what are they going to do? They're going jack off and do all that shit. It's just be patient. Be patient and understand that it's not about the reward all the time. It's about enjoying the process of getting better,
and that's a big difference with men, I guess, right? I mean, our journey is long and it's hard, and you got to work and you got to build yourself up. I mean, if you were just born a beautiful woman, right, you could just be invited out, be invited on the yacht, be thrown money, just because you look good.
OnlyFans
and all that BS.
You never want to be bitter about those girls, though.
No, 100%.
You never want to be
they're doing their thing. They're hustling. They're making their money.
If I was a girl, I'd do
it
the
is
same
what
thing.
it is, right? I wouldn't date one though.
No, I would never date one.
To be
No.
honest. No. But you respect the hustle. It is what it is. Like that's where we are at in the current world, and they're taking full advantage of it. It just is what it is.
It's just an extra business model. And also it's another way of making sure men can have their own self-discipline. I think that the world is actually extremely easy to make. It's extremely easy to make money, because it's also extremely easy for men to fall into their desires, their monkey desires, right? Which is why a lot of guys they make no money. They're just broke as fuck, everything of that sort, meaning that there's not a lot of actually qualified men to compete and work in the game of business. It's really easy to fall into the porn trap. It's very easy to fall into the trap of eating fast food because it's actually cheaper and all this stuff. So I think business is much easier now than ever. And it's actually a lot easier to make money. Just if we remove the whole porn thing, even if we removed everything, this is so much easier. You can contact someone in fucking Singapore right now if you really wanted, and sold them on a product. Or I've even got guys in my community that are on the other side of the world, and they're enjoying the product. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
worldwide.
Shit, it makes me want to have my own little community now.
Yeah. Ask me questions, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, we'll probably go out after too, so we'll figure something out. But damn, I don't know. I don't know what else to even ask right now. We've gone over so much.
A lot, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. What's the next move right now? I know you're flying over to, what is it, New Jersey?
Yeah, so I'm going to New Jersey for a few days, and then after that, I'm going to go to Los Angeles to do a podcast with King Azuri. After that, I don't really fucking know where I'm going to go, to be honest. I'm probably going to. It's either Tulum or Argentina or Canada. I might go to Canada quickly. I saw a cool Airbnb in Canada. Not really leading into Canada. I might go to Argentina though. I don't really fucking know. But I will be on Earth. That is correct.
I hope so, man. What are you going to be like with Elon Musk out in Mars?
Man's going straight to Mars.
Hey, Elon, when are we going to Mars, man?
Well, I'm sure something's definitely going to come up.
Yeah. I've got tons of plans, especially for my school group. Like I've seen the whole trend of school getting bigger and bigger, and now I'm actually really enjoying scaling this group and actually changing some normal men's lives and turning them into beasts. Because for me, I've always like been in the self-improvement space, and now that I've gone through the issues and the problems and everything, I can really look at a normal guy and really coach the person into turning into a beast, which is really fun, seeing these guys like change their lives and everything. So Yeah, it's very
dope.
cool.
Dude, I'm so happy for you, man. You
Yeah.
have a really good story, and I really hope a lot of people
At
get
such
a
a
lot
young
of value
age too.
out of it.
Imagine 10 years from now.
Yeah. No, I should have 100 million by then.
I hope so,
You
man.
should.
You better
Yeah.
be freaking more famous than Tate at that point, because you're more ahead if you really think about it. You started at 18.
Yeah.
Then he started in his
Yeah.
20s. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
after his kickboxing.
yeah, there you go. So now you have a lot of shoes to fill, my friend.
Yeah.
Bro, it's happening. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I think so too, my man.
Yeah.
The way with your mindset, I think so too. Before we close out the podcast, can you give everyone a piece of advice to help better themselves that we didn't talk about during the podcast?
To be honest, I really think that it kind of leads on to something that I said before, but it was the compound effect. Every single small thing that you do on a daily basis will lead into the life that you've ever wanted to live. And so your daily habits, your daily KPIs, what you do on a daily basis will tremendously change the course of your life. Right? Everything that you do right now from the present will lead you into that future that you expect for yourself. Main thing is enjoying the process, not focusing and eyeing on the reward, instead realizing that in this game of getting better and better, you have to enjoy the game. You have to enjoy the game versus trying to look for the end of the game, right? Try to figure out, the maximum version of my GTA character, right? I can't wait for that time. No, like when you have everything in the world, it's actually quite boring because like then you have everything and there's no more challenges. There's no more things to do. Right? So realize, right, like the funnest time in life is actually when you become that person, and you will always remember of that broke version of yourself. So realize that even if you're broke as fuck, you're in debt, whatever it is, this is like, if you're in debt, great, cool, figure out a way to get out of it. But realize that you getting out of it you'll look back on those moments and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I've gone through this stuff. And those are memories that you will always remember for the rest of your life. Right? So
Enjoy the process, basically.
enjoy the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the results will come, and your journey will be definitely much
I
more
would say this.
rewarding.
If you do everything right, like if you work on yourself, you go to the gym, you work on your businesses, you're doing everything that is working in your favor. You do everything, right? But you don't actually see any results. Realize that on a long-term basis, if you continuously do those same things, if you actually work on yourself consistently, nonstop, it is inevitable, literally inevitable for you to reach those results. It's about enjoying, focusing on the process versus the result. So I think I'm good. I think I'm done with my rants.
Awesome. Awesome.
That was perfect.
That was great, man. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Now, before we close out the podcast, we always like to do these rapid fire questions for our guests. They're supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be serious. There's a little bit of math in them, so break out the calculator. I get everyone with that one because everyone always asks, "Oh, no math, right?" I'm like, no math. There shouldn't be at least any in those rapid fire questions. But like I said, they're really quick, really fun. Are you ready, my friend?
Is it for me?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It's
okay. I
just-
thought it was to the audience.
No, it's just for you, my man. It's just for you. Like I
Okay.
said, really quick, really easy,
Okay.
really fun
All right.
questions. It just to get the audience to know you a bit better more. All right. Push, pull, or legs?
Push.
Okay.
Good man.
Yeah. 6 a.m. workout or 6 p.m. workout?
6 a.m.
Okay. So what time do you wake up?
Normally, like let's say around 6:30.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's not too early, but not too late either.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your ideal cheat meal?
I don't really have a cheat meal. To me, that's like, I don't know, like fruits.
Damn.
Okay.
I really like blackberries.
That's fair.
If your cheat meal is fruits, I think you're doing something well.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Yep, definitely is going to be on stage sometime soon.
I actually don't like donuts, to be honest. Like,
Really?
They're not good.
What about Tim Hortons donuts, man?
No.
Tim Hortons?
Sorry. I'm sorry to the Canadians, but
damn, I'm not gonna lie, I love Tim Hortons. Who's your favorite influencer right now?
I'd say First Man. First Man and Hamza.
Okay, cool. And what is your ideal car?
Oh, he already said.
I know he said it, but maybe I'm
I
thinking.
say GT3 RS, bro.
GT3 RS.
GT3 RS is
I
the
didn't know
way.
there was another one.
So when are you getting it?
Let's say but what I want to do is I don't want to buy it in America, right? Because I need to ship it to Europe, I need to ship it to Dubai and shit. So what I'm thinking of doing is buying the GT3 RS in Dubai, and in the summers I'm gonna ship it to Switzerland so I can
buy it in
drive
all
around.
countries, just different colors.
That is a good point. Yeah.
different colors.
But I actually have a connect within Porsche, which will allow me to buy GT3 RS within easy seconds. So I'm gonna start with Dubai, and then I'm gonna expand my Porsche.
Go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last question, is Dubai the last safe haven on earth?
That's a good question. I think it's a safe haven for really rich guys to park all their money. I think it's there's some other places though. There's Singapore is great. Cyprus is pretty good. Miami is also pretty nice, to be honest. But yeah, Dubai is a good safe haven. I don't think Dubai is the end all be all for everything. There's a reason why I actually am not in Dubai now. It's because the air quality is not the best. If you actually look at the air quality statistics, I'm focused more on my health now, focus on my cash flow, not necessarily on networking. I think that Dubai is good in some senses. You'll never find the perfect place. You can find the perfect place based on your goals. That's why I'm in the US right now. You want to leverage debt and be super healthy. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Awesome.
Well, I don't know about being healthy in America. But
Yeah, I don't know.
No, bro, you can be either extremely healthy or you can be extremely obese in America. Yeah, you can find everything from every single world.
Yeah,
That is true.
Yeah.
Got a point.
we're
Fair
diverse
point.
as hell.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
All right, JP. Thank you so much again for coming in, flying in to be on our podcast. We really appreciate it,
Yes,
especially
sir.
because Vinny just messaged you out of the blue.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you came on here and gave us the time. So we really appreciate it. Do you want to give everyone your social media?
Yeah, just follow my Instagram. It's JPDANDREAA. Yeah, basically.
And join his school
Instagram.
group.
Join us, group.
Yeah. School group is JP Group. You can even find it on School. That's how big we are right now.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Coming for that top 10 spot.
Yes, sir, bro. I'm telling you, I'm meeting Alex Hormozy ASAP.
Hey, Alex.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we want to meet Alex too.
Yeah.
He's our guy. He's our guy for sure. Awesome. Mr. Dos Santos, is there anything before we
nope.
close out?
Nope. That's it for me, man.
All right.
Part 2 someday.
Part 2 someday.
Dubai.
I'm thinking so. When the air quality is not as bad.
There you go.
Even though, it's the Middle East, so it is
Part
kinda
2 in
always bad.
Dubai or Miami or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure it
yeah.
out. For sure. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe out there.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
We gonna